What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. And you know, one of the things, and I said this last year about this particular film right here. I said this last year after Sonic came out and just knocked it out of the park. All right, with great critic reactions, okay, with the great box office, all right. I said this movie right here has to deliver, okay. This is Mario. This is the granddaddy of them all. Mario has to deliver, all right. Sonic set the tone. Sonic showed what is possible for video game movies, all right. It said, oh, no, we can be good movies. We can make a lot of money in the box office, all right. We can appeal to a wide audience, and they did by listening to the fans, fixing that broken down looking Sonic, okay, and really adapting a video game like they should, okay. They did a great job with it. Now it's Mario's turn, okay? And like I said, Mario's the granddaddy of them all. It should absolutely have no problems whatsoever with that. So right now on the direct, we got some of the early critic reactions, Super Mario Brothers movie reviews. What are critics' first reactions? Let's go ahead and check out some of these and see what they got to say. The embargo for critics' social media reactions to the Super Mario Brothers movie lifted, leading to the first reviews surfacing. Video game movies have long been held in a rather negative light, but that perception has finally begun to shift after heavily praised adaptations of The Last of Us, Sonic the Hedgehog, and more. Coming up to back next is a Super Mario Brothers movie, bringing with it one of the most surprising all-star voice casts ever for what has recently been revealed to be a relatively short first movie in what could be a new big screen franchise. Yeah, I think it's going to be a huge franchise if they get this thing kicked off the right way. All right. They're already talking like this movie can possibly crack $1 billion. Okay. Worldwide. That's how big Mario is. If this thing is good, if this thing sticks to landing, yeah, we're probably looking at maybe the biggest film of 2023 for sure. All right. But it also could be a $1 billion hit. Let's go ahead and check these out real quick. The first critic reactions to the Super Mario Brothers movie emerged online, with these early reviews painting a pretty great picture overall for fans of Nintendo's iconic Italian plumber. Fandango's Eric Davis called the adaptation the ultimate love letter to every era of Mario, putting particular praise on the humor in Jack Black's Bowser. Wahoo! The Super Mario Brothers movie is the ultimate love letter to every era of Mario. Love the humor and especially Jack Black's Bowser. I felt the same way watching the movie as I do playing the games. It's just joyful. Also, stay for the credits. And you know, that's the thing, is that we do have a movie that's kind of going to appeal to people of all ages, you know, from like little kids all the way up to people my age, all right? If you grew up in the 80s, you grew up with this franchise. You grew up with Super Mario Brothers, all right? If you grew up in the 80s, you owned a Nintendo Entertainment System, all right? Chances are most people did anyway. And this was the starter game. Super Mario Brothers came with every brand new Nintendo Entertainment System, okay? It was like in that starter bundle that you first got when the game first came out, okay? And you know what? Actually, I take that back. It was Duck Hunt, okay? It was Duck Hunt. It was, what was the other one? Gyromite. It was Duck Hunt and Gyromite, and it came with the stupid little robot that nobody played with, and then it came with a gun, all right, for Duck Hunt. Everybody used the gun for Duck Hunt, but nobody played Gyromite, all right? And nobody bought that crap because it was too expensive. It came with 2 controllers and everything. It was that second bundle that everybody bought, because the second bundle, it was just the NES, it was a controller, and it was Super Mario Brothers, and that's what you got. So that's the one that was the cheapest, and that's the one that everybody bought, all right? So you got that joint for Christmas if you grew up in the 80s like myself. And that's what I'm saying, like, everybody knows this franchise. Like, the Mario series is a classic, okay? You're talking about everything from the music to all the different characters, okay? And then, you know, you had all the different little spin-offs like Mario Kart and Mario Party and Mario Golf. And even Luigi got his own little spin-off with the Haunted or Luigi's Mansion, all right? It's the biggest name in video games, okay? Everybody's going to flock to this thing as long as it's any good, all right? As long as it's good. Gizmodo's Jermaine Lucier really wanted to like it, but did not. He criticized the flick as overly goofy, bare-bones plot filled with bad jokes. Wow. I really wanted to like it, but did not. A few solid scenes capture the spirit of the game, but mostly it's an overly goofy, bare-bones plot filled with bad jokes and worse song choices. It looks great, but I was more bored and annoyed than entertained. Wow, okay. Well, I guess we 1 for 1, okay? Or we 1 for 2, all right, out of these 2 reviews so far. Kind of funny, Tim Geddes completely disagreed with any criticism of the music, going as far as to call it the star of the show. Yeah, I mean, Mario Brothers has great music. you know, for a franchise. The Super Mario Brothers movie was awesome, teared up from the hype more than once. The music is the star of the show. Nintendo fans are going to be obsessed. I'm not sure any movie in history has had this many Easter eggs and good ones. Yeah, that's what people are going to come to see, man. These Easter eggs, things that remind them of the games, okay, that they played as a kid growing up. You know, that's one of the things that Sonic did really, really well, is just hit on those video game Easter eggs. Isla Hink praised the visuals and particularly how Anya Taylor-Joy's Princess Peach is so cool in it. Yo, the Super Mario Brothers movie is awesome, so fun, and so many nods. I loved it, and it's gorgeous, and Peach is so cool in it. Game explains Andre Seeger called the Super Mario Brothers movie an utterly delightful thrill ride and nearly moved him to tears. Wow! Even with its somewhat shallow plot. So this is the second person, actually, that's saying that the plot is kind of a shallow one. The Super Mario Brothers movie is an utterly delightful thrill ride that is as joyful as it is magical. It is a movie that is for Mario fans first. Mario fans will love that. And despite a somewhat shallow narrative, is a blast. Nearly moved me to tears seeing Mario realized so beautifully. Randy Jones noted the top-notch animation and teased the loving Easter eggs and cameos. He boiled the overall final product down to being a Mario movie made by Illumination. Interesting. Mario worlds are brought to life with top-notch animation and energetic action that will delight kids and fans, full of loving Easter eggs and cameos. That said, it's a Mario movie made by Illumination, and I'll leave it at that. So you guys know Illumination, of course. They're the guys behind the Despicable Me franchise. They're the ones that's behind the Minions. Okay, so it sounds like this guy is basically saying, yeah, this is like a Minions, Despicable Me, Mario type movie. All right. Hey, that could be fun. Okay, I think the Minions are fun sometimes. Is the Mario movie a slam dunk win? One thing every review seems to agree is that the Super Mario Brothers movie managed to capture the essence of the franchise, which is certainly a good thing. Clearly, this is a true love letter to Mario that will reward fans with a plethora of Easter eggs. There are at least 33 classic characters appearing after all. That is a lot of characters in the movie, okay? That is a lot of characters, but we saw a lot of that stuff in the trailer, and I think that's what really enticed people to say, oh, man, this thing looks great. Look at all the characters that are coming off in this thing. Generally, the reviews are in agreement. The narrative is somewhat simple and perhaps not the deepest, but that should be no surprise given its short runtime and young target audience. Yeah, I think it's like only like 90 minutes or something in length, okay? So it's a short film. Clearly what's there, combined with the humor and many Mario reference, has been enough to enthrall most of these select critics. Ultimately, Mario's going to need that repeat viewership, obviously. That's all these films, okay? They all need repeat viewers. How many times are you going to go back and see Mario? Are you just going to watch it once? Are you going to watch it twice? Will you go back when your cousin is taking his kids to see it? Are you going to go and check it out at that time? That sort of thing, okay? I think this movie is going to absolutely take off, okay? It's going to do bonko numbers overseas. I think it's going to do great numbers here. And let's take a look at some of the early projections for that. And of course, you guys know this is on Box Office Pro, where all the movie fans go. They stated that Super Mario Brothers was going to come in with a $100 million long weekend haul because it's a 5-day total. All right, starts on Wednesday, then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is the long weekend. They say it's going to do $100 million. And what I thought was interesting, $71 million to $105 million. That's what it gave for its original projection for the opening weekend, and then $301 million to $427 for the total domestic. But then they came back and they updated it, okay? And now they're saying it's going to be somewhere around 73 million, okay? So they're thinking that it's going to fall somewhere within this range. I think that's such a broad range, to be quite honest with you, all right? You're talking about like a $30 million range. Like, you know, they can't get it any closer than that. But then you also have a total range of 319 million to $453 million for the domestic overall. So I think that this is probably closer to what we're going to see. And, you know, these numbers just keep getting bumped up, and up, you know, with the new projections coming out every week. I think that by the end of the day, this thing is probably going to easily pass this $100 million, $105 million opening weekend. All right. I think we probably are looking at somewhere in the neighborhood, maybe 110, 115 million, you know, because this thing is going to take off. All right. And unfortunately, I won't even be in town. I'm actually going to be on a plane heading to London. All right. When this movie comes out, but I'm going to try to catch it somewhere in London. I'm pretty sure it'll be showing. Heck, and even IGN asked, will the Super Mario Brothers movie be 2023's biggest film? We asked the analysts, and all three analysts agreed that Super Mario Brothers movie is primed to be a huge hit. Could it hit the coveted $1 billion mark globally? And this guy says, I think that it's going to be a global phenomenon without question. Garabedian says, I mean, there's very few sure bets. That's a pretty darn sure bet. I'm pretty bullish on it, Robbins agrees, pointing to another Illumination feature, Minions: The Rise of Gru, which pulled in more than $900 million worldwide as an example. Minions proved that families and parents and kids were ready to come back when the content is there, he explains. The problem was, after Minions, there just wasn't a lot of that content for those crowds. We saw Puss in Boots: The Last Wish do really well, but it has strong word of mouth. But now, with Mario, he continues, I think this is, outside of Minions, the first tried and true big animated blockbuster that has incredible appeal for people of all ages and all backgrounds. Exactly. This thing is going to appeal across the spectrum to everybody. Okay, again, young kids all the way up to people my age, all right? There will be people my age with no kids that are absolutely going to go in here and check out this movie, okay? You're looking for an IP that crosses several demographics. Well, guess what? We're finally in the right place for video games to do that. Yeah, this thing crosses all the demographics, okay? And the most important thing probably is something that I didn't even mention, okay? You didn't hear me talk about anything with wokeness or anything when it comes to this Mario Brothers movie. And look what they said here again. Minions proved that when families and parents and kids were ready to come back when the content is there. You see? You see, Disney? You got to remember who's your audience for your films, okay? Families and parents and kids, okay? Get all of the same sex stuff out of there. Get all of that woke stuff. You got to get it out of there. Parents are not interested in that. And that's why Minions did $900 million and Lightyear and Strange Worlds lost their asses, okay? But anyway, folks, what do you think about Mario? What do you think the box office is going to look like? Are you excited? Do these reviews make you feel like, yeah, this is it. Finally, we're going to get a Mario Brothers movie that we love. You guys go ahead, jump down in the comments. Let me know what you think about that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.